Hi everyone. Today I want to talk about the problem with mixed multitude. The problem with mixed multitude. See, as long as you're ready to serve the Lord and fulfill His purpose in your life, enemy is not happy. So enemy comes up with various schemes and ways to distract you, slow down, or if possible, to destroy your life if you are serious about fulfilling God's purpose. So this is what we see all throughout the Bible. Especially there is this phrase in Old Testament. We see it in Exodus and Numbers, and also in Judges. So let's go and see what this mixed multitude is about. Okay, in Exodus 12:37 and 38, it reads, "Then the children of Israel journeyed from Ramses to Succoth, about 600,000 men on foot, besides children. A mixed multitude went up with them also, and flocks and herds and a great deal of livestock." In 38, it says, "A mixed multitude went up with them also." So, who are this mixed multitude? So, you and I know that the Jews were in bondage roughly 400 plus years in Egypt, and God sends Moses to deliver them out of Egypt. Uh, But then now we hear the word mixed multitude who went up with them also. So the Bible is silent, but we can make a reasonable conclusion that this mixed multitude are nothing but friends of the Jews who are mostly the Egyptians and other groups who are present, perhaps the neighbors with the Jews. So why did they wanted to go with the Jews? So obviously, one thing that we can conclude is they have seen God's miracles. Ever since Moses showed up, they have seen tremendous miracles of God, God's power manifested through Moses. So they were curious, perhaps we live with these Jews, probably will have a better life, right? And then they also live along with the Jews. But there is a problem with this mixed multitude, okay? This mixed multitude, their God is not Jehovah God or the Yahweh God of the Jews. They do not have any desire to honor God. They are about themselves. Okay, it's all about them, their needs, and it's all about what they want to do. There is no relationship with the living God. Okay, so that's the signature of this mixed multitude. Now, if you go to Numbers 11, 4 to 6, Numbers 11, 4 to 6, it reads, "Now the mixed multitude who were among them yielded to intense craving. The children of Israel also wept again and said, 'Who will give us meat to eat? We remember the fish which we ate freely in Egypt, the cucumbers, the melons, the leeks, the onions, and the garlic. But now our whole being is dried up. There is nothing at all except this manna before our eyes.'" See the problem with the mixed multitude. It says they yielded to intense craving. So the children of Israel also wept again. The key word is again. That means they have been weeping before. So this mixed multitude yielded their appetites, craved for something they used to have, meat and all kinds of foods, right? Melons, leeks, onion, and garlic. So they started complaining. That complaining became too much to the point that they started crying and weeping. So it affected the Jews. So then the Jews started crying and weeping. Then later we see that Moses goes before God and says, what can I do? How can we feed this many people with the meat? And all these things they're asking for. So that's the signature of this mixed multitude. So what do we learn out of this, right? So the thing is, as a believer, you and I are in the midst of a mixed multitude. See, the Jews were in isolation, right? Because they were in Goshen as slaves, and if anything, there are Egyptian neighbors on the outskirts, but not mixed with the Jews inside the Goshen. But whereas for you and me as a believer, we are in the middle of a mixed multitude. Who are they? They are our friends, neighbors, colleagues, our own family members, extended family members. So if you look at all your circle of friends, neighbors, colleagues, they are your mixed multitude. They are my mixed multitude. But one thing is, you may have a relationship with God. You are willing to serve God. You want to honor God. But the mixed multitude surrounding you, they do not have any relationship with God. They have no desire to honor God. So it's all about them. The lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life is what drives them. The three main factors Satan uses: the lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh, and the pride of life. So whenever these things are not fulfilled in their lives, they start complaining. So in this case, it is the lust of the flesh. They ate all this food, meats, cucumbers, leeks, garlic. So the appetite for these tastes became so intense, they started complaining, and it became contagious. So it affected the Jews, and the Jews start weeping. So as a believer, if we are not careful, the company that we keep, okay, they will affect you for good or bad. If they are not of faith, even within the church, you may have believer friends. Not all believers are the same. Keep that in mind. What I mean is, they are born again, but if they're not walking by faith, they yield to complaining, anger, bitterness when things don't go their way. Of course, it's the same thing. It's a routine for the non-believers, the friends and colleagues, neighbors who are not believers. They are in your circle of influence. They yield to intense craving. And when their needs are not met, something goes wrong, they immediately start complaining and grumbling. And if you're not careful, very soon you will start doing the same thing. But now we cannot go away from the mixed multitude because we are not in this world, but we are not of the world. That's what John says, right? So how do we manage the mixed multitude? Okay. So you and I have to set our focus on the Lord. When Peter wanted to walk on the water, the Lord said, "Look at me." Okay, not at the waves, not at the wind. So as long as your focus and my focus is on the Lord, we'll be all right. We won't be complaining, we won't be grumbling, we won't be bitter and angry about the situations. And we look to the Lord by faith. Okay. I want to close this with one example. Okay. Let's say you have a chunk of ice and a small fire right next to it. Okay. So the thing is this: if the ice is large, it starts melting with time, and then it will choke out the fire next to it. On the contrary, if the fire is strong, it will start melting the ice. Ice becomes water and it flows away, but the fire doesn't. So see the difference? If the mixed multitude is the ice in your life, if you are not strong and fervent in your faith walk with the Lord, they will choke you out. That's what happens. Either they will influence you or you will influence them. There is no neutral ground. So either we influence them for good or they will influence you and me for bad. That's what the enemy wants. Enemy wants the mixed multitude to influence us so that we stumble in our walk, in our faith walk with God. We start making foolish decisions and we lose our testimony. I hope this little exhortation helps you. May God bless you. If you like what you hear, please subscribe and share and like. Thank you.